and he's not sleeping with any of them, he's more than likely gay. He's not probably even trying to sleep with them. Not saying that you should, but what I'm saying is that go ask the man what reason he would have to be friends with a woman, and go see what they tell you. Because they're gonna tell you, what do we have in common? Like, men look at women as sexual objects. They don't have anything to friend you over. That's why you'll see most of the time, if you see a man and a woman being friends, he's typically gay. Or the woman friends on him so much and he's waiting for a moment for her to be vulnerable, which is kind of predatory. So that, to me, the predatory, most women aren't going to befriend a man that was trying to sleep with them. So I don't feel like you're going to typically be in that type of predatory situation. But
that's a good point. I never thought about that. You listen, you can even teach a 48-old lady like me about relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm old as hell, and I never thought about, because I have slept with dudes and then still end up friends with them afterwards. You know.
And see, that's different if y'all already slept together. But I feel like friends don't sleep together, so I wouldn't technically count that as a friendship. That's more like we hooked up and we're gonna keep each other around because we're probably gonna hook up again. Like, friends never hook up. I feel like once you have sex, the friendship can't happen. If they tried you sexually, it can't happen. Anytime, like, I have friends that I've been friends with. I'm 27 that I've been friends with for more than 20 years. We've never been sexual. It was never anything. There's never no sexual tension. There's never anything inappropriate ever because we're truly friends. It was, we didn't meet because I was interested, and even with my male friends, it's never, people always saying like the DL man that I was befriended or was cool with. Of course, they had different intentions, but that's how I know how to recognize a DL man from a straight man. Like with my straight male friends, it's never none of that.
But ever. You know what? This actually teach a woman that's straight about a man that if they're with a dude and he has and he has saying he got these female friends. Oh, we just friends, that he's probably in some way either sleeping with him or trying to sleep with him or there's something going on there.
But if they're friends, you would have probably already met them. So I think if you met them and they're truly just friends, you're a man probably gay. That's why I said, like, with friends, you'll know if somebody's friends. Like, if you're with the DL man and he has friends, like, that's why I say even with the guy friends, like, you need to be meeting friends. If a man is taking you seriously, now, if he doesn't take you seriously, if y'all are just hooking up, you don't deserve to meet friends. Like, he shouldn't meet your friends either. But if y'all are in a serious, committed relationship and he's keeping certain friends a secret, or if you're not able to meet them, assume that there might be something inappropriate going on, even if he only has male friends. Because of course you would assume that if he had a female friend and you're not meeting her and he's hanging out with her, and you would already assume something is up. The same with men. Like, there's been instances like with my male friends, my straight ones, I meet all of their girlfriends. Like, we're cool, we're texting. If anything, I get more cool with the girlfriends than I was cool with the niggas. But with the DL ones, you don't meet their girlfriends because they don't even want. It's like they'll let you be around as a friend, even though they have other intentions, but they don't want to put themselves in a predicament for you to meet the person that they're with or anything like that because they know that they have other intentions.
And that's where, and then that, so that violence can come into play when you begin to pick up on some of these behaviors because they're trying so hard to keep up this whole act. What do you think when it comes down to also like the world of like pimping and prostitution? Like a lot of those pimps, they say that I heard that a lot of pimps and people that are engaged in like pimping out women are gay. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that if you just think logically, even though I know some pimps, but of course they're gay. Like, if you cared about women, you wouldn't be pimping them out. But how you need to think about DL, man, if they had a vagina, they would do everything that they hate women for doing. Because again, like I said in the beginning, they think that women, just by having a vagina, that you're gonna have everything handed to you on a silver platter, and you can get paid for, just sleeping with men. Like, they don't, men, of course, how men think. They don't see nothing wrong with just sleeping with people for money or just making money. Like, so a lot of them, if it is jealousy, they're jealous that they feel like women can just do nothing and get everything. Wow. So that's why if they had a pussy, they would sell it. But since they don't, they're gonna make you sell it. Like, whether, I just saw a skit where it was somebody from Black Ink Crew, but the man was saying the gang inboxed his girl and he was telling her to like respond, and I'm just like, so you're gonna be a couple, like what Diddy was just doing, not to bring up Diddy, but we might as well
Yeah,
bring him up.
but he about to get sentenced.
But yeah, cuckolding, like that's because like okay, if I'm a man that wants to sleep with a straight man, but a straight man only wants a vagina, so now I gotta get a vagina to make this man sleep with. Like, you get what I'm saying? You're gonna vicariously live through other people.
So, so that's that whole thing was him living through Cassie. In his mind, he was.
Look, that's why he had Cassie, because when he had Cassie, who didn't want to sleep with her? So he had access to all men. That's why I always say some men use women to attract men because yeah, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, it's kind of obvious sometimes, especially if you see
pimping Cassie. So at first I was thinking, is it really pimping? Because
I wouldn't call it. I don't think he was. I mean, he was pimping her. I think he manipulated her, and it was a power imbalance. But what I'm saying is that even if she wanted to do it, he was still vicariously only living through her.
Mm-hmm. Right. He in his mind, he was Cassie, and he was just imagine because they say that men are visual creatures, so he probably could go into a whole fantasy that he was the one getting banged by these.
Yeah, that's why remember they say he had to be blindfolded, and he would just listen and kind of like he's putting. It's all a mental thing, and he was on drugs too. But
right, ketamine and stuff.
So yeah, that's why I'm like with the cuckolding, that's always gonna be gay. A straight man doesn't want to see his girl with anybody else. Like, and I want to say this too because a lot of women always say, "Oh, what if it's with two women?" The straight men that I know in my life, because I did ask them this question, they said they want to be with heterosexual women. They don't want to be with bisexual women. And the heterosexual women I know say that they want to be with heterosexual men. They don't want to be with bisexual men. So, if your man is okay with you being bisexual, he probably is bisexual. I just want to say that because I know a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with bisexual men. I also want to say that too. My process is about down low men. If you're openly bisexual, I don't care. I'm happy for you. But if you're secretly hiding your sexuality, that's the problem that I have because a lot of people conflate the two. I don't give a damn if you're openly bisexual. I don't care if you're a woman and you're with a man and you know he's bisexual and you're okay with it. That's literally, we don't care. If you're with the man and he's hiding it, that's what I care about. Because I feel like a lot of people try to conflate it like, oh, well, I'm okay with the bisexual man. Cool. But everybody isn't.
Right.
That's it. That's all. Because I feel like people, oh, you're bashing, man. I don't give a damn. But I give a damn when it comes to the ones that are going to lie and manipulate. Because even, we don't have the statistics pulled up, but Black women are starting to increase the STDs. And let me pull it up. I need to look it up. But the CDC essentially said that I want to say by 2037, 1 out of 2 Black men are going to have HIV.
One out of 2, Jesus.
1 out of 2.
By when?
That's half 2037. So that's like 12 years. And you can look that up. The CDC always publishes everything, but the CDC, this is what people don't know. They're always a year behind. So when we got numbers this year, that was for last year. Remember that they're always a year behind. So when we get the numbers for next year, they're going to be the numbers for this year. But what I'm saying is that Black women are especially increasing in HIV specifically at a higher rate than like white women, Mexican women, Latino women, Asian women. Like the number is like I want to say for Black women is, and I mean we could just look it up, but it's like 1 out of 4, but maybe a white woman is like 1 out of 30.
Wait, let me look it up. Black woman.
Yeah, and I mean I could look it up too, but the numbers are
exactly where to look at it. Disproportionate.
It's such a disproportionate, and if you just go to the CDC, I could have looked it up too. I'm sorry, I'm being a little lazy, but
it's okay because
I've talked about it before, but I do think.
You see, here's the thing: is that just because you talk about, because there's a whole new audience, so you gotta understand.
Okay, so yeah, I would actually go to the CDC, straight to the CDC website, or look up. Hold on, my bad, because I don't like the AI overview thing because I feel like that leaves things to question. I like official sites. So the CDC is an official site, and they're pretty accurate. Hold on.
And I think, and the reason why I brought this on this channel, now I'm gonna tell you what my audience is mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
there's a few women that come over. That's why you don't hear too many people saying.
Yeah.
I know people are watching, but
Yeah.
they're not saying.
Well, it's okay with me.
You know what I'm saying? So,
To,
but I think it's important to have this discussion so that people can understand that how detrimental this is
yeah.
to the people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a new time. I know that they're trying to make it go back to how it was, where people were back in the closet, and the LGBT community has to go back into hiding, and abortion is now illegal again. They're trying to bring everything back to slave times, and I really don't think that's good because too much that secrecy is what causes a lot of like illnesses and diseases. But I think people can be honest with each other and say, "Hey, look, this is what my preference is," and they could be who they are instead of trying to hide.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen. That's why I say like we kind of have to go by what's realistic and not like what sounds good. Like that sounds good, but people have had so much time. It's never been illegal to be gay in the U.S. So
Right.
it's just always been something frowned upon, but it's never been illegal. So that's why I'm like, it's countries where it's illegal. Like they'll go to jail. They'll be erased if they're found out. We don't live in that country. I understand there were a lot of stigmas and things, but even now I feel like it's starting to be different. The NFL had a rainbow flag for Pride Month. Like sports are starting to promote LGBT, so that's why I'm like, it's starting to become a lot more free. Like we have a bunch of sports players that are seeming to be openly gay. So
Right. Well, I also heard that they have a lot of parties that would put P Diddy to shame. In the basketball world, like that whole Pete freak off and everything. I've
yeah,
heard that they have those also in sports. I mean, of course they would. You have a bunch of like athletic people. Of course. So
yeah,
I think that I think it's important to have this discussion about sexuality because um, uh, now that we're not in the early 90s where it's like this whole taboo
hmm
situation, it's starting to become more of
yeah.
a thing, and it's affecting us. If we have a bunch of women catching HIV, then what's going to happen to the babies? We're not going to be children are going to be either born with it or
And I mean, I will say this: like, is when people this is why I don't repost a lot of stuff because I always fact check, because I mean the numbers are increasing, but they're not as high as people say for women. Like right now, of course, I'm looking at it on the CDC website. So in the last year, it's looking like approximately maybe 5,000 women, and I got to make sure this is not just for Atlanta, but out of those 5,000, over 3,000 were black.
okay.
So like you see how it's always like it. Basically, other people have better access to healthcare because I know we can't stay too long. But I have talked about this and published those numbers when they first came out in March. They come out every March, but by them having better access to healthcare, and like I say, like now you see in the gay community we have PrEP, we have undetectable, you have doxypelp, even though I think you need those things if you're a whore. But if you can't keep your legs closed, go take those medicines and make sure you prevent from catching it. But what I'm saying is that it's increasing in women because a lot of women are sleeping with DL men. A lot of people think, oh, I think everybody's DL. That's not true. But if you look at the numbers, if you take into everything that everybody says into account, if I'm saying this, and then you got the transgender community saying it, then you got other gay boys saying it, then you got some women that are actually going through it telling you like it shouldn't be anything hard to understand. And a lot of these men that are sitting around complicit, it's because they're DL. It's because they're gay. Like they don't see an issue with it. All of these, well, is it really DL, man? Men know that men are DL.
Hmm.
They know.
And here's another thing I want to show too. See, this is Houston right now. Houston has been growing really fast in
Mhm.
STDs, not just only HIV, but like
Yeah.
it's getting out of control with
Yeah, I mean, and that's a lot of places. Like I don't even think a lot of people know. Like, there's a lot of STDs that basically are kind of mutating, and antibiotics are becoming resistant to those STDs. Like some chlamydia strands, some gonorrhea. Like this, always tell people you have to do your research because knowing that some stuff that was curable is now starting to be resistant to antibiotics, like you should be a little bit scared.
That is scary. And here's the thing: is we have this music